4 years ago, a mysterious pool of milk was discovered deep inside a cave passage. Roughly 700 meters underground, we find baffled scientists. It's probably not actual milk. Not many cows live underground. But it's still weird. Caves are weird. That's why they have weird names. Names like Tears of the Turtle Cave and Pendejo Cave. But beyond the funny names, a lot of caves are eerie. Whether notorious for their dark pasts or the subject of strange legends, here are the 10 creepiest caves in the world. Despite its name, the Coba murder hole has a disturbing history. In fact, the public have been banned from entering the cave since 1960. Before that, multiple cavers died within it. One of such deaths occurred in 1958, when a local man fell to his death. According to the investigation, he was making a descent when the rope snapped. It later turned out the rope had weakened due to improper storage. To many, this confirmed an old superstition that the cave is haunted. It is said a murderer once used the cave to hide the bodies of his victims, hence it being known as the murder hole. Other tales tell of hideous monsters living deep inside its passages. Early in 2016, 2 hikers discovered a small cave in the Catskill mountain range. This in itself was not unusual, but what they found inside the small cave was a wooden statue appearing to be of a woman, with a small noose tied around its neck. Nails had been hammered into each of its 2 eyes, like a voodoo doll from an old horror movie. Like a genius, one of the hikers took the strange doll home with him, a decision he would later regret. The man later claimed the doll ruined his life. According to the story he told, the doll began to move on its own. Late at night, loud banging noises occurred with no clear cause, and the smell of stagnant water filled the house. In desperation, he donated the doll to a museum of the paranormal. After a century of hiding, a notorious criminal was found inside a cave. His name was Joseph Henry Loveless, a career criminal who in 1916 lived up to his name, murdering his wife. 2 days later, he escaped from prison. Police were unable to find him, and for decades his fate remained a mystery. Then in 1979, an old sack was found inside an Idaho cave. The sack contained a headless torso, but it was in such a state, identification was not possible. In 1991, more bones were discovered, but still the identity was unknown. Whoever it was, they clearly died violently, and somebody went to great effort to hide the body, dismembering it with a handsaw. In 2020, a DNA test was finally done, revealing it was none other than Joseph Henry Loveless. Not all creepy caves are above ground, as any cave diver will tell you. They will also tell you that one of the most notorious cave diving spots is Jacob's Well. In central Texas, its opening is calm and clear, but descend the cone-like tunnel and you will find it getting smaller and smaller. Each chamber of the cave gets darker and more tight. By the time you reach the 3rd chamber, you can barely see and barely move. Go further and you will find a large metal grate, intended to stop anybody from entering the 4th chamber. The 4th chamber is unbelievably dangerous, and dozens have died there. Even with the metal grate, some divers have squeezed their way through it. To do this, you need to actually remove your oxygen tank and lower it down before entering the chamber yourself, otherwise there is simply no room. Needless to say, this in itself is hazardous. There are cases of people actually dropping their tank, leaving them deep underwater with no oxygen. Being 90 feet below the water, it is easy to get disorientated, and even if you don't enter the 4th chamber, there are still dangers. In the 2nd chamber is what divers call a false chimney, a tunnel leading to a dead end rather than the surface. At least one person has died after taking a wrong turn. Devil's Hole is primarily known for its geothermal pool, it being home to the world's rarest fish. Surrounded by desert, the cave has been seen as mysterious for centuries. Local native groups once believed a strange humanoid creature lived in it, and if you stayed in the water for too long, it would drag you under. It was also said the pool led to an underground city, but people were advised against swimming down to find it. Cult leader Charles Manson was obsessed with Devil's Hole and was determined to reach that fabled city, but he was arrested before being able to swim down. Today we know the pool does lead to a large system of caverns, some of which housing pockets of air. Maybe that's where the legend comes from, or maybe there really is a lost city down there. The caverns are yet to be fully explored. Despite its clear water, few people dive deep, not since 1965, when 2 divers disappeared and were never seen again. The unrecognized country of Abkhazia is home to the world's 2 deepest caves. One of them is called something like Valley of Kina, which took decades for its depth to be measured. Today we know its depth is around 2,200 meters, which is deeper than a Buddhist philosopher. That in itself is a little creepy. Any expedition to explore the cave has taken days, and 5 years ago a group got trapped down there. Turns out the cave sometimes gets flooded, so they took refuge in a dry area, narrowly avoiding drowning, and were trapped underground for a whole day. In 1700s England there was a notorious secret society known as the Hellfire Club. In a time of religious zeal, they were infamous for their ungodly deeds, so their leader had a network of tunnels and caverns built to hide their meetings. Now known as Hellfire Caves, they extend 1/4 of a mile underground. Exactly what happened in the caves is unclear, but according to rumour they carried out satanic rituals. Some even claim they tried to summon the devil himself. Other rumours tell of drug use and murder. In the early 19th century, a family in Tennessee experienced great tragedy. Rural landowners, the Bell family claims to be visited by strange creatures, like a dog with the head of a rabbit and a horse with a human face. This was just the first sign of an evil spirit, now known as the Bell Witch. What followed was the whispering of an old woman and banging noises that kept them up at night. The children would wake up covered in bruises, and the father contracted a mysterious disease. After 3 years of declining health he died, but no doctor could explain the cause. For years thereafter the family claims to be tormented by the Bell Witch. Today their farm no longer exists, but a mysterious cave can be found nearby. Known as the Bell Witch Cave, legend tells of an evil presence hiding within it, and unsurprisingly, many who have been there report hearing mysterious ghostly whispers. In 2014, a man called Kenny Veach posted online about a creepy cave he discovered in the desert. Shaped like the letter M, he claimed it was not far from Area 51, and that walking close to it had a physical effect on him, causing his whole body to vibrate, so he ran away. But with the internet being supportive, his followers basically bullied him into exploring the cave. Then one day he went to the same area and did not return. His phone was found near an abandoned mine, but no trace of him was inside. Kenny Veach simply disappeared. Not long before, a commenter on his YouTube channel warned him not to return to M Cave, claiming that if you enter it you will not be able to leave. Almost 10 years have gone by, and still we do not know what happened to Kenny Veach, nor do we know if he entered the cave. Many have searched the area, and all kinds of theories exist. That he was kidnapped by the government, or even abducted by aliens. This cave is thought to have once been home to a 17th century doomsday cult. Led by a German mystic known as Kelpius, they believed the end of the world would unfold in the year 1694, so they dug a cave into the side of a hill, hoping it would shield them from the waves of destruction. But then 1694 rolled by, no apocalypse occurred, and it got incredibly awkward, yet his followers stuck by him. Kelpius claimed supernatural knowledge, and it was said he had a philosopher's stone. Only after his death in 1708 did people finally give up on him.